We were just discussing the Stanley Cup Finals because we heard the
Ethan,
the 13-year-old Florida Panther fan.
You're here and supporting the Panthers. What is this with you?
This is a monumental moment in my life. I have been here since day one of my birth, 2011, and I just can't wait to see my team happily host the Cup. Wow! Let's go!
I don't think the reporter was expecting it.
no.
He walked away and kept on like, 13.
Yeah, get that kid on a mic.
Since the day of his birth. Biggie didn't like it.
I don't like that kid. He's annoying.
Yeah.
Oh,
come on now. That's
Biggie,
the spirit.
That's his team. That's his lifelong team.
The spirit.
If he was next to me, I'd ask for a seat change.
He would too. I think it goes both ways here. It goes both ways.
I'm fine with that.
You know, we were thinking about that. Of course, it's in Miami where they play, and it's June now and very hot there. In Edmonton, I'm sure it's much cooler. One time I was watching when the Avalanche played the Panthers, like late 90s. I'm an Avs man. Okay, fine. And
Ask anybody.
Right. So the Avalanche play the Panthers, and they were saying that the ice in Florida at that time of year was choppier, and the players didn't like it. You know, because it's Florida, it's hard to keep it cold. I wonder if they've improved that in 25 years.
I'm sure.
You
I think the technology's probably improved.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so
the
too.
ice technology and the air conditioning technology both. Hand
Yeah,
in
but
hand.
I mean, you can do all the math you want and move through time, but keeping a big room like that cold
That's tough.
is tough.
Well, that's a lot of BTUs moving through
I'm sure South Florida Power and Light's having a fine summer.
I'll tell you,
Yes.
as a proponent for the environment, I have to call into question how much do we need? We've got to keep this room cold.
You want to stop playing hockey?
All right, the BT. I can't stop playing hockey. I'd like to move them north. You know, maybe a little.
To Jacksonville?
Put them up in Panhandle. Put them up in Panhandle, can we? You know,
The Carolinas?
Walton Beach.
Panama City don't want to be don't want a hockey team.
Well, even in the Carolinas, if the Hurricanes were in it, it's still going to be 90 degrees while
Yeah,
they're
that's true.
playing.
In June.
One time, Chris Demm and I were at a hockey event here, and the guy, we were standing right outside the boards, we're getting ready to go on the ice, and he had a little device in his hand, it looked like a thermometer, and he could point it at the ice from a few feet away, and it would say like 4 degrees. That's what the ice
It's
was.
real close to zero.
It was neat. Was that the night that we sent you down the ice on that
Human bowling?
human bowling where you injured and collapsed your lung?
Maybe. or
Yeah.
was it the night we rolled out there onto the ice in a tank?
Oh, tank night.
Tank night.
Both were monumental achievements, believe me.
Like an army tank?
Yeah, we had it. Well, it's
Well,
cardboard.
technically it was a cardboard
army tank.
covered golf cart.
Correct.
But it was supposed to replicate like
yes.
an Abrams
Yes.
A1M1 tank?
Yes. And I can't recall why it was, but when we were announcing, we had already pre-taped our announcement, and as it went through the arena, it said, I was supposed to say, like, fans, we've broken the record of 17,500 fans, but what people heard, and Chris Demm is in this tank because of such and such, and he was driving, his little head popped out the top of it.
Was it on wheels?
It was on
was
wheels.
a golf cart.
It was a golf
On the
cart. It was a
ice.
golf cart on the ice, but we had pre-taped my announcement. But instead of hearing Chris Demm is driving this tank because it's
Thank you,
packed up.
fans.
Thank you, fan. Instead, we heard, and there was Chris Demm's little head, and he was waving, and later we saw it ourselves, and Chris Demm said, "No one knows why I'm there."
Including you.
I think I was there that night.
That's the dumbest Zamboni ever.
It's possible.
I think I was there that
I
night. I
think you probably
vaguely
were.
remember that.
Yeah, there he was.
Yeah, you couldn't forget. It was pointlessly dumb.
Chris Demm said, "Why am I there?" And I think he got out. There may have been a dog out there with him. And,
What's like a dream?
Why?
Well, we did so many stupid things on the ice.
We did.
Did we did the donkey tattoo? Was that ice too?
That was donkey one night. There was a donkey.
Yeah, you
That-
tattooed your ass. That was the
You have to
joke.
tattoo your ass. I'm going to tattoo my ass
If we fill
the arena. So again, we had done the pre-announcement, and it was donkey. So Kristen's like, no one knows why we're out there with a donkey
But we spent about half an hour backstage with the farmer
and the donkey.
and we didn't tattoo it. We didn't brand it. We just put spray paint on his hindquarters.
That would be frowned upon now too. God.
I think I was there that night. And let me tell you, maybe they muted the sound because there was no way they were filling that arena.
Maybe.
Low level hockey.
Speaking of bad sound, Rudy Giuliani had an 80th birthday party. The former mayor of New York and former presidential candidate, big Trump supporter. He was live streaming his 80th birthday party, And this is the one we're saying the only live stream worse than our radio programs may be Rudy Giuliani's. This is what it sounded and looked like here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to our hero, Rudy.
That's the cake that says
Oh,
happy
that's
birthday to our
nice.
hero, Rudy. And it was just as bad as it could possibly be. I mean, just a terrible live stream.
I don't know if this is 100% true. I've not fact-checked it, but at his party, Mr. Giuliani was subpoenaed because he's been subpoenaed for some electoral malfeasance in Arizona. I believe.
Correct. He was trying to get him to say the Trump election was not real.
Yeah,
You know, the Biden election.
And the process server did not know where Mr. Giuliani was until he announced he would be live streaming his own birthday. And I don't know if this is 100% true or not, but if you look at that video, this horrible audio, there's video that goes along with it.
Happy birthday to you.
There's a guy in the back singing and smiling. He's the process server.
Handed him speed.
He's the marshal who handed Rudy his subpoena.
Well, happy birthday. Here's your little gift for you, a little present for
Here
you.
you go. This is for you.
Here's a subpoena.
You've been served.
Rudy Giuliani,
birthday
you've been
to
served.
our hero, Rudy.
By the way, I got a text from one of our colleagues who said, as I teased that, saying, this is about 5 or
Just
6
a few moments ago.
Yes, I said the only person with a live stream worse than ours, our program, she says, your live stream failed just as you did that to you, so
Perfect.
we
Come
didn't
on.
exactly hear it. She goes, that is not a joke. That is not a
Not a wind-up.
Not a wind-up. No, that is real. That's what we do. That's how we do it here, you know.
Perfect.
The other failure came from the teleprompter at a Trump rally in Las Vegas. Now, Chris Demm has always said Donald Trump is better off teleprompter. He can wing it.
Yeah, it's there, but he doesn't need
He
it.
doesn't need it. He can wing it.
You know who does? Uncle Joe.
Joe Biden needs a teleprompter, but Donald Trump does not. So they told him as the speech was being given in sweltering heat in Las Vegas, hey, your teleprompter's down.
He just came up. Are the teleprompters not working, sir? Not even a little bit. Great job. And then I don't pay the company that does it, right? And then I end up with a story Trump doesn't pay. I don't pay contractors that do a job, and that's a job. That's a
Oh, God.
That
Sorry.
gets him going.
So,
Oh, no. There's
Well, he's not going to stop the speech.
so he continues with the speech, and he goes into a part of it where he had met a gentleman in Florida who runs a boating company. I guess he takes people out on boat rides. And he asked him, how's everything going? And the guy said, Mr. President, not good. They're wanting us to make all these boats electric, and it's not working for us. You know, it won't work with the economy and so forth. So Trump started in on boats and sharks.
I went to a boat company in South Carolina. The boat, I said, how is it? He said, it's a problem, sir. They want us to make all electric boats. So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there? By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too. A lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat. Do I get electrocuted? If the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking. Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, you know, nobody's ever asked me that question. I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted, I'll take electrocution every single time.
Yes.
I'm not getting near the shark.
Yes.
So we're going to end that. We're going to end it for boats.
Okay, so boats, you're not going to have to do that anymore. There's no more electric. You want to worry about sharks or electrocution.
Is the teleprompter back?
Okay, so
Shark speech.
God, I saw that on MSNBC, and they went back to the host, Mika Brzezinski, and she just stared at the camera, and she said, "Is this man fit to be president?"
Yes.
Joe Biden said, I can't believe I'm losing this guy.
In like a landslide.
In every state.
You know, Chris Demm and I, we've talked. I think Joe Biden is going to win this election.
How?
I think you're nuts.
What are you watching?
Well, I wasn't watching. I have not been watching, but I felt like Joe Biden was going to win this election because
I know you have.
Mr. Trump was convicted on 34 counts.
Yes, he was.
No, didn't hear it.
And so, after you said that, I looked at some polling yesterday. And Mr. Trump is winning in it.
Look at the key states.
In a big, that's what I did. I polled. I said, what are the poll? I said, what are the poll results? And there's a lot of polling these days. There's a lot of polling out there, Dave. You know this. Dave Aiken is. That's a problem. So I looked, and in all the key battleground states, Trump is winning by 4 and 5 points. I guess you all knew this.
Yeah.
We kind of did.
I didn't know. And I said,
even before the polls, you just sort of
you feel it.
you look at what do they call it? Read the tea leaves. Take the pulse.
You feel it going
Just
that direction.
Look at social media. Look at regular media.
Well, because people feel like Biden couldn't even get on the boat.
Right.
I'm just being honest.
He's waving from the shore.
He can't.
Yeah, people feel like, look, I mean, it does look that way. I mean, that's part of it too. Is
Yeah, he
I
can't
think
get on the boat.
he doesn't look. He looks like an old man at this point too. I think that's swaying.
Well, they worried about that 4 years ago. You know. They
Yeah,
said,
and I mean, Trump is still out there.
yeah, he is, but
I mean,
he's almost as old. But
He's almost as old, but he does not act or look as old.
But you think it's more Biden's age that's dragging him down, or the state of inflation and prices and
Both.
It's just a combo.
I don't think you can separate it.
The age doesn't help. It's
No.
not going.
No,
It's
the
not
age,
going away.
yeah.
No, I agree with that. But when I saw these comments from former President Trump, I thought, as Chris Demm said, Biden must be thinking, I'm losing?
Bigly.
What? Yeah, he's losing all over the place. I mean, he's getting run here.
For me, I'll hold on to the battery and want to get eaten by a shark.
You take both?
For him or Biden. I don't give a damn.
You hear that? This loser wants both.
It's a great
Drown me,
question.
and I'll drown.
It's a great question. Everybody asked that question. Do you want to hang on to the battery and electrocute, or do you want to go over to the shark? I'd take my chances with the shark. I think I'd try, because electrocution, that's it. You know, you touch that, that's it.
There's the current in the water.
Right, but you go over to the shark. Now, at least I can try to punch him in the nose or something. You know, we've learned about that.
I guess.
I'd try.